Rice University.
Rice. I thought you were gonna like pinch my nipples.
Why would I do that in the middle of Asian family? What? I thought he would tweeze his nips. What the fuck?
You just started charging with me with your hands out. Then I'm like, where are you going?
Alright, time to clip those nips.
3, 2, 1, go. Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to 20-Minute Tea with Preppy Asha. Today I'm joined with Clayton.
Oh, go see.
And Ivan, our friend from ID. Today's
local insurance agent.
at 20-Minute Tea, we talk about adulting, how growing up and our transition from teenhood to adult, and passioning things about like stuff we're really passionate about. We try to talk about all these things in 20 minutes, but sometimes if we don't hit 20 minutes and if it's still very interesting, we try to like carry on into like 25-30 minutes.
Over-explaining.
Yeah. So this week, we are handing off the topic on to Clayton. Clayton's directing this week, and we'll be talking a little bit about overthinking and like the pros and cons of overthinking. And what else did we talk about?
We just side tangent to everything else.
And into growth and to headset mindset. Mentality, head talk, heart talk again, and those kinds of things, and like positivity. Or I don't know, it's starting to get a little bit repetitive. Do you think? No, right?
We talk about I think no, but we resistance.
Yeah, and I feel like we are also expanding the whole space that we are trying
talk about
to
the human condition.
Human condition.
Very relatable, you guys.
I think yeah, it's this is a very interesting episode, especially because we have our very good friend Ivan from ID. You want to do a little quick introduction to yourself?
Okay, so my name is Ivan. I have the same.
Project your voice a bit.
My name is Ivan.
Ivan.
No, Ivan. I have the same surname as Asher. So that's how you know I'm also a big brain.
Gang.
You.
Okay, so yeah, and I'm from industrial design.
Yeah. So 2 guys from industrial design, 1 guy sandwich in the bill from SD. So yeah, stay tuned and let's get into the episode. Okay, hello, what's up, guys? Okay, so right now we're gonna pass to Clayton because this week is episode 4 and all the even weeks are Clayton. All the even weeks are Clayton's weeks, and he's gonna share with us his topic of the week. Let's go, Clayton.
It's about overthinking.
Okay.
Guys. Uncle C's back here to preach about overthinking.
Here he goes. Ivan's cringing. Okay, let's go one round.
I want to start off with Asher's excerpt of what overthinking is.
Okay, so so Asher has a thing called overthinking that he does like all of the time, which
he's mastered.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just take it all off. Don't put it here. Let's just pile it in the front. Oh wait. This is mine. don't.
This is mine.
Keep yours at your end.
No.
You just swap it around. Okay, so over here on the table we have these masks, and then Clayton was saying like if we get coronavirus, and then after that we use our mask, and then we swap the mask in the end, and then after that we put on the wrong mask.
That's Asher rapping his overthinking and explanation.
Alright, okay, this is very annoying to listen to because I'm very high energy, so Asher's gonna take it down like 5 notches right now.
Right.
Okay, I'm back.
Slow down the voice clip.
Okay, so overthinking. Overthinking to me is like times when I say something and then I kind of regret it a lot. Like maybe like it's like a small interaction, and then after that I will like think about it a lot when I am like in the middle of the night when I'm hustling, and then I'll be like just working on my computer. Yeah, that kind of time. So then I'll be like, it'll be running, or when I'm making a model or something. So I'm like just slicing, and I'm just thinking about, okay, wait, I said that thing just now. Oof,
and then you cut your finger and then go into the hospital just because of overthinking.
Yeah. So I think overthinking to me it's a natural thing for me because I really take these things very seriously. But at the same time, it's because like I don't know where the line is supposed to be drawn for certain situations, like, and then I don't know whether is this too far, or should I have said that, or in this situation is this the proper way to behave. So hence I do think a bit more, because I think it's also because I'm in a new environment, coming from homeschooler to come into a new environment. But I think it's something that for me, I believe that I'll grow out of. Eventually when I become more confident and more stable as an individual. Right. Yeah. But how about you, Ivan?
For me, okay.
It's kind of my insurance. I would think it too much.
Yeah. So for me, I think overthinking is like more towards like interaction wise and
also.
like, more I would say it's somewhat relatable to Asher's point, as like he said he's a homeschooler and he needs to like.
You're not homeschooled.
I mean him. Like,
Right.
Okay, so the difference between me and Asher, right, is he's homeschooled and I'm not. And
Sure.
okay, but there's one similar thing. I'm the only child, and everything is like consolidated to me only.
Right.
And I'm in my room all alone every time.
Right.
So my interaction between my family is okay. I would say that it's normal,
right.
like Asian family. But
Asian family. It's normal,
that supposed
like
to mean?
Asian family.
What's that supposed to mean?
but yeah,
Eat rice?
You get where I'm from.
Rice University.
I thought you were gonna like pinch my nipples.
Why would I do that in the middle of Asian family?
Asian family, okay.
What? I thought you tweeze his nips. What the fuck?
You just started charging with me with your hands out. Then I'm like, where are you going?
Alright, time to clip those nips.
Okay.
This is such. Oh my! I will come to the show and.
What is happening?
Okay, continuing.
Yeah, right. Okay. Asian family.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'm young.
Basically, it's very formal or very strict.
very strict.
Okay. I get it.
And like you need to restrict yourself and know what are the limits.
Right.
When
no pinching on nipples.
No, but knowing nothing,
Sure.
Yeah, and you can't like you need to keep thinking. That leads to overthinking. You
okay.
need to keep imagining what the others are thinking, like on the other end. Like,
Okay. So it's very ambiguous or very opaque.
Very opaque.
Right.
Okay.
So
Transparent immediately.
So in the sense that you're not very used to, or the environment isn't very used to being very open about your feelings, or like your true opinion. You just like kind of like
Sway towards them.
or beat around the bush. Kind of. Okay.
Right. So the actual psyche and like psychology of how all this works is that why you guys overthink is due to the reason that you're not having a conversation with anyone else.
Right.
And when you are alone, right? Because usually you're spending time with friends like us classmates, right?
Right.
Even if you're working or you're in class or you're in class.
Right.
You're in class. Where you're always having a social interaction with someone.
Right.
When you take time off, especially in the train, in the shower, where you're alone, isolated is the key word. You will have no one else to talk to.
Right.
And so that you'll start talking towards yourself. And that's overthinking,
okay.
Right? That's the psychology of it. Now, why you guys fret social interactions and keep thinking about social interactions is because it's what you value and love the most.
Okay.
You value and hold your friends up very high, and so that's the only thing that what you focus on is what you get. I always say this for the fourth time on the podcast, but when you focus on your friends and what you value, especially your family members as well, you will start thinking about, did I do something wrong to them? Because it's the only thing that's in your mind. When you talk to yourself, you think about there's something that's right in front of your mind.
Right.
So you think about, did I say something bad today? Oh, that interaction with Mary was pretty bad today.
Why specifically Mary?
Laughing and I was not. Did I upset her because of that? Did I dap her the mood because of that?
Oof.
And that's overthinking.
Yikes.
Now, the second reason for overthinking is because your ego is lacking and you're not confident enough.
Self-confidence.
If you're confident enough about everything, right, you wouldn't have to double check and double think about it. So that leads you to overthinking as well.
True.
So if you are the most confident man in the world and you feel like every interaction that you do, there's nothing wrong with it, right? You wouldn't think about overthinking at all.
Right.
And overthinking is just you thinking about it to correct and to assure yourself that, hey, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Right, to double check.
Yeah. Or maybe to actually look and correct at yourself.
Right.
So that your future interactions will be actually better about it. See, I'm a good psychologist, guys. You can pay me like $2.
He just passes someone the back after like his TED talk.
I'm over here.
You can show me some coffee, I'll talk about it.
I think he has a very interesting point about like reviewing what you said. I think also for me, it's the podcast also helps me to do that. Because like after each podcast, I will listen to my own podcast and it'll help me to review the way I behave. You know what I mean? And then after that, I can check myself and then I can improve.
Actually, that's like listening to my voice. That's why he.
You know. But what if right? Like it's kind of like. I lost my train of thought. See lah, thanks Clayton.
No problem, man. I help you lose your train of thought. No problem, man.
So that's all you wanted to say?
No, that's not it. We can elaborate on it.
Okay. Overthinking. Let's talk about
What
it.
else has it led you? Overthinking has led you to do.
What is it?
Because in Buddhist philosophy, overthinking is useless.
Right.
Right. Have I talked about it? Haven't talked about this before.
No.
Monkey
no.
mind.
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead.
Monkey mind is you in your head. It's what we call in the monkey mind, where you think and think and think and think.
Right.
You have this conversation in your head.
Right.
But it's giving you future ruminations that are not true.
Right.
Or past experiences that are also not true as well. Everything that they say is not ingrained in reality. You would suspect in future times that, oh, I said XYZ to Mary, and that's why that Mary will be angry at me. And that's you assume her in the future to be angry at you. That's not a reality at all. That's what you assume.
What do you mean? I'm lost.
Because overthinking makes you assume realities in your mind.
Oh, okay. Like you assume everything will be predictable.
Yes. It's a sort of condition that you have in mind that, oh, the future would be like this because of what I did in the past.
Okay.
It's just you foretelling what you have in the future, but that's not real.
Sure.
Your reality is only what you do in the exact moment that causes that reality to happen.
Have you ever experienced something like that before, or like you?
All the time.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I've been insecure all the time.
No, actually, because like I said, I was an only child. And I don't really know how to.
It's a bit harder to learn. It's a little bit harder to learn.
And I have to like Clayton said, assume
Right.
which this reality is not real.
Right.
And I just have to keep playing games with my mind. Like,
Oof.
like really, it's
Wow.
that's the case. Like from when I was like secondary school.
Right.
Run simulation is my.
Oh, really?
Charlie's not gonna be my friend because Charlie is not my friend.
But something like that. But it's like what I value. So
Right.
since I'm an only child, I would value my friends more. And
right.
I would like really want to like play with them.
Right.
Last time. But,
That's also
Play with
right.
them.
that sounds so wrong a bit. Okay, but no,
Now I play with them on video games
so
only.
what I value is my friends and
Right.
my time over there.
Right,
And
right.
I would not portray myself as something that they don't like. So, So what
Be as likable as possible.
So what I would do is ask, oh, what you like? Oh, then I say, oh, really? Then I will go check that thing out and like see. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Oh, what you like? I like Jimin from BTS. Oh my gosh, I love Jimin from BTS. That guy is.
Okay, I don't like K-pop. Okay, just no offense. So
Okay, cool.
that's the part of me. Also.
Wow, that's very
That's a
interesting.
condition that overthinking gets you to assume.
Really.
No, but see, it's not a thing that's specifically to somebody who's alone, or not alone, but an only child.
Yeah.
Because for me, I have like 6 siblings beside me,
Understand. Yeah.
which is very very different lah. But I think one thing that I have with my sister and my brothers also is that I feel like I also learn a lot from them also. In the sense that like I observe the way they behave, because like for me I have more experiences than them, and then after that like I see their way behave that like, oh, this is not a very good thing to maintain when you grow up. Right? Let's say it's like, I don't know, throwing tantrums or like whining or something like that. Or then after that I'll see it, okay, but there's also an evolution that is replicated in the future also, like that I'm also doing it. So then I'll analyze myself, hey, am I also doing that in a different way? Then after that I think about it and then I learn from them. So it's also about, I think, when the way we can overthink in a positive way is that we learn from the experiences around us, and then after that apply it to ourselves and then become better people. I think that's a positive way of overthinking. There's a negative way of overthinking it, where we start to use these emotions to also consume us on the inside, because sometimes we overthink because of emotions, not
Because
just
feel secure.
Right, or maybe it's a negative thing where it's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, now my friendship's going to be gone forever with this person. But actually, it's all you.
So it's like a negative risk.
Yeah,
It's all you, and that's not a reality.
Right, and that doesn't. It's a fantasy lah. So and sometimes it can also infringe on your own reality, because it starts to manifest in the way you behave in the future. You feel me?
Yeah. I have a point on what Asher made about his siblings and him, and that's not overthinking. That's actually observation.
Right.
There's a distinct difference between observations and overthinking.
Right.
When you observe people, that's not you overthinking on yourself,
Right.
but instead it's just you making an observation and playing in your mind that what is observation of human interaction, or what is observation on this problem is, right? And you should just leave it as that.
Right.
That's the healthiest way go about thinking in your mind.
Right.
Leave it as observation, because when the reality actually comes, you need that observation to actually apply the observation again. You would naturally apply it on.
Right.
Instead
to
of
continue to build a clearer reality.
When it actually comes, when the reality actually comes, and you need to apply the observations, you will actually do it. Instead of you applying observations to overthink.
Why are you laughing?
Because
I was thinking in my mind like, what if I should put an observation counter at the top, right?
observations.
The amount of time.
Observation, reality, and overthinking. Right.
Ting, ting,
No, but when you use the observations for the hard reality to actually solve it on the point, that is the healthiest way. When you use the observations for a overthinking mindset, where you make your own reality out of the observations, that is a false mindset. So that's the
For me, I'm trying to figure out what are you trying to get at. Like what is your line? What is your
my
line
whole
that you're
moral
trying
here
to...
is that overthinking is not needed in life.
Huh? Okay, I think if you start with that, that's a very interesting opener.
Overthinking is not needed in life, because whatever you assume in your mind is never reality. But whatever you observe, and when the time for the reality comes, and when you use the observations to correct the reality, that's what actually matters.
Okay, so I think what we need to do in the future, right, is we have to really start with a thesis. What is your thing? the thing that we're gonna discuss. So okay, again, to rehash what you just said, you believe that overthinking, it is unnecessary and it's a negative thing that has to be extracted out of the mind, or it's a habit that has to be broken.
Yes.
What's your take on that, Ivan?
I actually.
Why?
I actually agree with Clayton on what he said, and I think it's a very big brain topic. Big brain.
No, but you have to build it up. Why? Okay, so let's say you stop overthinking. What version of Ivan what kind of character would you project if you don't overthink?
Right. So I have this friend James.
James. We all know James.
Little buff
What's
guy,
up, James?
Massively, insanely.
Okay, so
Extra.
goody two shoes,
His
James.
if you all know,
But he's really respect. I really respect him. Yeah, I really do.
James is like
Mega
a
buff guy.
solo character, also like me.
Okay.
Yeah. Then, but the way he acts is, he has a big ego.
Okay.
He has confidence. He's big, muscular, boom, big brain. No, but
We
I
be
think
flaming James.
But this is what I think of in my point of view. It's like from my side of overthinking or this sort of child. I think that James is like very confident in what he speaks on.
Right.
Yeah, in every aspect.
Okay.
Whether it be design, whether it be his social life with us, with friends. Everything that he says and he projects to us is like, he's confident. He doesn't have this lack of insecurity.
Right. I feel you on that.
So I think I would somewhat be like James. If
You aspire.
If this overthinking aspect of me is being taken away.
So are you saying that all people who have insecurities are overthinkers?
Yes.
Somewhat,
But for me, I feel like
You feel like overthinking is a way for you to open and expand your mind.
Yes. Okay, so here's my take. I feel overthinking is a part of people's character, and it has to be properly utilized as a skill of understanding yourself.
That's just on the right mindset.
You know what I mean? Because to really not think about it at all, or like to really forget it. It just happened. It just happened. Like you effed up, and then after that, it just happened, and then you just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I feel that's also very assumptuous.
Exactly.
Presumptuous also. Very presumptuous that like everything will be fine. Because I feel like there has to be a certain amount of analysis for you to be able to grow, to really analyze the situation or whatever happened, and then after that you say, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. I will not do that again. And then after that, let your actions determine the reality after you have made your analysis to determine to change. So and then that's the way you grow. If not, overthinking can be a negative thing where you just spiral down, but it can also be something that helps you rise.
On the topic of James, right? What he's saying is actually true. James, if you think about it, right? everything that comes out of his mouth is made of virtue.
Right.
It's a clear line, white knight with virtue kind of thing.
Right.
And you look at this guy, first time he talks, he's like, wow, how can someone be such a white knight? Is he like full of bullshit? He's not full of bullshit. He believes it 100%. And that's only a James thing can do. And it's something you should
why are we
annoying sometimes.
Why are we like sucking his
No, you cannot. Because James is a good analogy for overthinking. Do you think James goes back and then he thinks about what he says?
I think he does.
No, he doesn't think about it because he's that confident about it. He's a virtuous man and no need that virtue.
But then I would think that that is very, very presumptuous.
That's on the presumptuous
that would
scale.
make me think that you are very presumptuous. That if you like, I'm not sure whether James is it because I haven't had like all my interactions with him. But like, if you aren't somebody who is cautious, I think there's a certain amount of caution that is healthy. By a certain, like when it's overdone, then it becomes destructive.
But I admire how James lives his life because he's living his life in the very exact moment, every second to second. He doesn't think, he doesn't go into his head.
Right.
Because
he just do it.
Yeah, he just does it. Why do you think James is virtuous and virtuous towards like this straight stick? He never corrects what he's saying.
Okay.
He always says virtuous stuff.
It will come across
from day 1 to day 10.
I will assume that it will come across very, very
pretentious.
Yeah.
But that is what everybody feels that James is when they get a first inspection of him.
Yes.
But the thing is,
but once
when
you get to know
realize him, right?
Yeah.
It's such a admirable way of living life because you're living life on your terms. He doesn't give a about everybody else. I gotta censor that part. Yeah. James, shout out to you because you're the biggest balls man I've ever seen. Yeah, but talking on that, what Asher is talking about, you have to live a life of balance when it comes to overthinking, right?
Yes.
The quote for this is that virtue lies between a large spectrum. There's a side for everything of virtue. If you apply it to gratitude, for what's that? Hardworking.
Right.
Say you're hardworking.
Right.
On the other side, you have the hustle mentality where you hustle for everything. You don't care about your body and don't care about health.
Okay, that's
on the
wrong.
other side,
right.
You have complacency. You do nothing with your life at all. Right. Virtue lies between it. When you're hardworking towards the point where you care about your family still, you're still caring about your health and body, but you're not complacent when you're doing nothing at all. That's the mean virtue.
Well, what's your take on that, Ivan?
Same goes for overthinking. If you overthink,
what do you think about the topic of balance and like lifestyle?
Yeah, I think it's very okay.
How do you maintain balance? How do you maintain balance in your life?
For me, right, how I maintain balance is actually, okay, let's start from 1 month ago. Okay, 1 month. Okay, 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I wasn't gymming.
Right.
Like until when Clayton, the big brain guy, go gym guy.
It's so gay. Oh my goodness.
I know. But no. Actually, he.
How's that homophobic?
And like Jeremy, right? Both of them asked me to go gym.
Okay.
And like, gym don't want. You know, I was like insecure, you know.
Okay.
Because I rarely gym. Like,
okay, sure.
In fact, I don't gym.
Yeah.
I treat basketball and all those activities as
your activity.
as my gym.
Sure.
Okay, so my balance is off, way off. I don't have enough sort of balance between my health and my work, or let's say activities.
Right.
Yeah. So after gymming for like 3 weeks, I noticed like, I actually feel good about myself.
Right.
I actually take note that my body is growing in a healthy way.
Right.
Yeah. Then like I actually take like caution in what I eat.
Right.
Really.
Right.
After a few weeks of gym, I really noticed that I shouldn't take that much sugar. I shouldn't take like
too much carbs, oils.
No, for me, I need carbs. So
Carbs is actually not bad for you.
Okay.
Asher's just trying to cut weight.
No, I don't. I need to gain.
No, I actually noticed like the different types of food like can have different effects on me, and I actually get to notice that, and that's the experience from getting a balanced life.
Balance opens up perspectives for you.
Perspective, yeah.
What do you mean?
Like,
okay, this is the exponential curve of doing good things. When you do good things at the start, right, it's pretty poopy. It's like, this hurts.
Okay, sure.
But when you start doing more good things, you see the actual benefits.
Yeah.
Your confidence rises.
You start to see
so
results.
It goes up and up.
Right.
So that's what Ivan is actually experiencing. First, you go to the gym, and then you start off as a gym beginner, right? Once you actually see these newbie gains and you feel confident about yourself, you start to become a health nut. And from the health nut, you start reading more about gym facts, and you start watching gym videos, and then you go this and that and this and that. So it's a spiral upwards. Same goes for negativity. When there's negative stuff, like say you are a bum that watches TV all day, and then you would spiral down towards playing video games all day, and then it's like this and that.
He's really like attacking people.
And it's like you start to like indulge in more greasy food because you feel like that's okay, and then more junk food because
actually that's true.
And then after that you get into a mindset that this is just me.
So whatever you do, whether it's good or bad, it actually exponentially like.
So how do you correct that?
Discipline.
How do you like change your trajectory?
Resistance is the way. That's what many people quote.
Right.
When you see resistance and you feel that it's the hardest thing in your life, that is the way that will lead you to success.
Give me an example. I mean, everybody can quote and everything but how did you change? Get on your path of like growth.
Ivan's ex-up gym, right?
Okay, sure.
It's the hardest thing to do because you go into the gym. First of all, you see this bunch of jacked guys in front of you.
Okay, so
you're this skinny freak.
Right.
You're hitting the 4 kg dumbbell for your 4 kg dumbbell for your bicep curls. This guy is hitting 25 kg for his bicep curls, and you're like, what the am I doing?
I'm so embarrassed to be here.
That is resistance. When you feel like this is not you're out of your comfort zone. You know, me, dude.
So I think the first step of like taking steps in the right direction. Is just putting yourself in it.
Stepping out of the.
So notice when you're in
make yourself uncomfortable.
Uncomfort zone, and you're in the resistance, right?
Right.
Notice 3 months later what happens.
Right.
You suddenly hit that 12 kg dumbbell for your bicep curls.
Right.
You feel much better for yourself.
Okay.
It's such an improvement from 4 kg.
Okay.
And that's success.
Right.
Isn't it not?
What I gain from that is like the mindset change. Like my mindset towards gym is like like what Clayton says.
Right.
Like the first few weeks, I've been like.
Let's not talk about gym anymore. I'm not fit. I'm not going to talk about gym. Actually, let's talk something about more relatable to you.
I think
your first time.
For me also it's like kind of like for me it was running. I used to do a lot of running, and then after that slowly like I just got more and more into running, and then I stopped because like I got really busy. Why are y'all like guilt tripping me?
Okay, actually let's not talk about health because
and then there's runners out there right now. Speaking of which,
I run.
No, but let's talk about your first time that you have your photography business, your first shoot. Was it not?
Okay. For me, I want to like try to maintain back, like try to fall back to the line where we were talking about overthinking. But how do you see that this is related to overthinking? How is this related to overthinking in the first place?
If you in the moment don't overthink of yourself,
right,
you will live in the present moment and you will forget forget your insecurities and forget your worries.
Right.
And that's a very hard state of mind and life that you can get into. So that's the most optimal and virtuous way, the James way, I guess.
Okay.
Imagine if you could say everything and anything that you want, right? But not care about anything. You're that confident about your speech.
I think for me, my take is that you that level, right, of self-confidence comes over time,
right?
And when you have a certain strength that you find within yourself and within the people around you. For me, like I feel like as I've grown up, or like as like maybe after these 2-3 years in school, right, I've gained a certain number of friends. And then after that, to the point where, like, even online and even doing this whole podcast thingy, I don't really care what everybody else thinks already. And then I found a certain sense of confidence in myself.
That's a virtue.
And then, and to the point where, like, I only have to care what this closer bunch of people think of me. And then if they know what I'm actually talking about, and if they get my jokes or if they get my mentality, then I don't really care what else everybody else thinks. And then I can just be myself already. So yeah, that's why I feel like sometimes people like are a bit worried. Like they say, "Are you Asher?" It says like, "So why do you have so many opinions online?" But it's like the thing is like I'm actually just speaking to my friends, my closer friends only. Like anybody else is just you just heard it. Yeah.
That actually makes a lot of sense because
and then that's why I don't really overthink about it.
One of the things that people do too much is that they care about all the opinions of other people
right.
who don't matter.
Right.
But they care less about the opinions of people who are around them.
Right.
See, that's why Instagram is toxic.
Quit Instagram. Delete your Instagram.
I think
actually, wait, don't. You won't be able to watch the podcast.
I think you have to have a certain amount of real life confidence, like real connections.
Yes.
Like you're here. We have a real connection and we get each other. And then everybody else is just a sideliner. Like it's just a audience.
You must have the vibes. And
Yeah.
then you must have audience.
Yeah.